I think that this should be more an action than a concept, something that you do rather than something that is sold to you as a prepackaged item. So for different people enacting citizenship, it's different things. What we have to do is open the ways that this can be done. It can be, for instance, the European Parliament making just a promise to citizens that every pilot project that gets 25,000 signatures can be presented to the budget committee, as I, and as an MEP, can present under my own name a pilot project. You don't need to change the treaties for that, but you do need to change the treaties, for instance, to guarantee that 5% of the citizens of one country can make a complaint in the ECJ, in the Court of Justice of the European Union, in the same way that their governments can. So it's about having not only an European democracy that we don't yet have, that will be the same thing as our classical democracy that we already know, but that will be the 21st century democracy. If we don't provide the answer to what 21st century democracy should be, I don't see this answer coming from Russia or China at this moment. It could come from Latin America in a way, but why not from Europe? Why can't we answer to this question? And why can't we answer to this question by the things that we do, that we individually do, rather than as a concept that we sell to people? Well, crisis in the classical sense, in the original sense, means it's a medical term and means that turning point where the patient can get much better or much worse. So, and I think that what we have now is a real crisis. It's not one of these crises that ended up being the new normal of the last decades. We were always in a crisis. Now we are really coming to this turning point, and either it's as stark as this: either we destroy the life of our next generation, as we did in 1913, 1914 with the First World War, and then with all the tragedies of European history, or if we manage to take the good decisions rather than the bad, what we'll do is we are very close to making a big leap, because the technology is there, the information is there, the people know enough about the issues in order to decide by themselves. Information flows very rapidly, and we have learned that democracy can work. It can work at the national level, it can also work at the transnational level. Actually, you don't even have to build an European state to have democracy. You now have a currency without a state, you can have democracy without a state, and hopefully make it work better than the currency, of course. Well, in one way, the communities and the people that feel or strive for European citizenship the more are the outcasts and that the margin, and people that in a geographical sense will not even be European. I've heard, for instance, from the part of Turkish Kurds, hopes and dreams about Europe that Europeans don't have. So these Kurds from Turkey want Turkey to exceed the Union because, as a minority inside Turkey, then they will be covered by the Charter of Fundamental Rights. So, pro-Europeans would love to hear that from citizens in the core of Europe. But on a different sense, for instance, Roma in Europe, they're the most European of us all. They have been, crossing borders forever. And they are part of European history, and people coming from all parts of the world to Europe. I tend to emphasize, when I talk about the European Union, the concept of union and not of European. It's not the territory that binds us. If we go for territory, maybe I'm closest to a Moroccan and closest to a Cape Verdean, being a Portuguese, and closest than to a Latvian. But it's the union, meaning it's the polity, it's the public sphere, and the rights that go along us that do bind us. So we are and should be a union of rights, and these rights should be built by everybody residing in Europe. They should be asked for by everybody residing in Europe, and they should be granted to everybody residing in Europe. There's absolutely, there are many legal reasons for residents, for immigrants to not vote in elections in Europe. Many legal, national legal reasons and European legal reasons, but there is not a single good moral reason for them not to vote. So what we have to do is to, put legality in line with morality, not the rest. They do reside here. They are stakeholders. They pay their taxes. They pay their social security. They're helping the social security system work. Well, no taxation without representation. Isn't that, a motto of the Enlightenment and of the American Revolution? So we should get that American idea, to good use in Europe also.